Good morning. It's Wednesday, July 15th, and this is Wisdom for Your Week. It's not very often in this world that a little is better than a lot. We can think of a few situations where that might be the case, but in most cases, more is better, bigger is better. A lot is better than a little. That's just the way the world works. Not many people dream of having a smaller house, or an older car, or a smaller salary. Solomon gives a rare exception to the world's thinking in our verse for today. Proverbs 15, verse 16 says, "Better a little with the fear of the Lord than great wealth with turmoil." Think about those first three words. Better a little. So there can be a situation where it's better to have a little rather than a lot. He's talking here about material wealth, about money. How shocking that is to our thinking. We don't hear that in our culture very often. No one gives advice these days about how to make less money. Here's a message from Solomon. If you must choose between less material wealth and more fear of the Lord, then pick fear of the Lord every time. It's better to have less money and fear the Lord than to have more money and not fear the Lord. To fear the Lord means to reverence Him, to give Him first place in our life, to seek to please Him above all else. To fear the Lord is the greatest pursuit in life. And so if it means having less of the world's wealth in order to fear the Lord, then that's what Solomon commends here. Remember, Solomon has lived the life of the wealthy. He has pursued the world's wealth and attained it. He was one of the wealthiest men in history. And yet he says, I've lived that life, and it's nowhere near what it's cracked up to be. I'd rather live a simple life of meager means, but fear the Lord. The fact of the matter is, most of the time, wealth brings turmoil, trouble and worry and fear and sleepless nights and suspicion and even paranoia. It seems that the most troubled people in the world are the wealthiest people in the world. Far from bringing peace and contentment, great wealth usually brings turmoil. That doesn't mean that a person can't have both wealth and a fear for the Lord. It happens, but it's rare. So much so that Jesus warned His disciples that it was easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter the kingdom of God. So Solomon would say, never ever choose the world's wealth over a simple life of fearing the Lord. And that's wisdom for your week.